When I say the name of the classmate, the first word that comes to your mind, you say, let's start. Very okay. Quiet. Imagine.
Approachable. Spiritual.
Need any more?
Lily had to be
don't say. They're one word.
Patient.
Okay. Miss Yakumi.
Hard one.
Welcome back to A Time with a Classmate. In this exciting episode, Kwame sits down with the one and only Joshua Fredrick Opoku Manu. Get ready to dive into the captivating life story of Opoku Manu as he shares his experiences, challenges, and triumphs.
So I wish for many a special guest and by A Time with a Classmate. It means that all of you, I wish we did this live so you can ask all your questions that I ask him directly. But I will do my best and remember as many questions as possible and see many I find an honorable priest. Opoku Manu, the one and only, and I'm in Hamden, Virginia. I drove to see him to chat with him. Into everybody on the platform is watching you now, so bring your greetings.
I think it's beautiful.
Thank you.
May share a number of years. It's over 2 decades.
Yes, exactly.
2 decades. Because it would be like 25, eh?
Yeah.
25 years, wow.
But you're good.
They say, how did I put away?
Maybe my shadow check at us in passing. Yeah. I mean, passing. She said, yes, about time to be cherry. I'm too. So, that question I'll try me too. All right, yo. Any names are for Pokemon. I'm in a action common. So, Pokemon. Me said there's an elephant in the room. And the elephant in front of us. And two patches say, "Well, we are better than us." Into on by a platform, no so I say, "Obi abodia." And what is the issue? Tell us why you are not on the platform.
It's unfortunate. Say many platforms. So I think it's quite a number of friends. Business
that reach out to you.
Yes, I know Philip. I've talked extensively. DJ Fee. It's not that I don't want to be on the platform. At the time they want me to join, I'm my schedules, and I don't like being on
idle on a platform.
And so I said, man, you wouldn't get a time and late responses. What I know about some of these things, they carry weight, and you should be human-centered. Be here response from the beer. Don't delay.
Okay.
And I think it has been an issue with me. And see, even my office, I don't join
those platforms.
Yes, because I try to be there physically with the person more than using the platforms or social media too.
So behind the scenes, you know, be akasa. And you are safe.
Yes,
but
I talk to a lot of
them. Back.
I have no option than to put my number there. It would hurt me when someone wants to reach me now on Temenkai. That I'll be hurt.
And actually, you slow members like Maxafo. Our boss on Casada, used to back on Casada. It's okay to be on it.
For like 1 hour.
All right, thank you for clarifying that. And see, but you move on into some 10. I
wonder if they know my number anyway.
I'll put it. No, I'll put it. Yo, anyway, we have standard questions. We will just run through those questions. To your official first question, they say, what are some of it? You have a lot, but maybe share your top 3 registered memory. But before you share that, I want to take this time and thank you for hosting me when I came, because right from Kumasi, I came to Presby for a year and I came to Ridge Class 5. But you took me as a big brother, and I remember a picture we took that I had to send to my parents in America. So I want to thank you for that. But share 1 or 2 top registered memories that you still carry. Don't mention Miss Yakumi's name. Everything except Miss Yakumi. Go ahead.
The story will be juicy. She
so take it out.
So she makes everything juicy.
So share.
I think.
No, before you share that, regional, what type are you? From King to Kankai? You start from 0.
Yes. Okay. 3K.
Wow. So you are the almighty rage. Money able to rage. Alright. So please go ahead and share.
So I think some of the good memories. One, how Pilo made life interested.
Oh, okay.
And I remember those days, Pilo wants us to really see things around us. what else to see things around us. We went to the excursion, and on my learning, fun.
Pino, was he an atheist?
Well, you know, maybe his background is that feeling, but not the type or put everything before you. Until I got to senior high school, not maintaining maybe I said, but then I think it's also impacted on me. Say you need to have an open mind to everything, and then you could really make good decisions in life. And I think that's what I saw in him. I think along line he said, sorry.
Oh, okay, nice.
But on my end, he said, life is before you.
That's
make the choice. You know, and the goodness I saw in him here, I did be and today I still remember some of the things he taught us at the time.
Wonderful. Oh, that's
and
good.
that relationship, created with exposure and my learning here fun. And I think it's something that I always want to recall.
That's good.
And then my favorite maths teacher, by the time I bet you I didn't know or the intention up board and half. You know, but
I said that was
yes, what a joy. This man loved teaching mathematics. And I think when you went on to study math, this man is it's something that is a strong pillar. It's very passionate.
Yeah.
Committed. And I remember when we were about preparing for our mock, they never pay had to spend whole time on making coffee.
Wow.
To teach us to understand before we write the mock. And I remember I put traumas paper and some lesson by school. Lecturing there.
Wow.
You know, and for me, these are memories I want to really keep. That's good. And of course, your normal, annual sports events. Benimako, but I really have to say, that is my favorite. And I remember that race, now run, a fear mother run, Jassy was our topmost because there was inter schools. So we were waiting for Jassy to win the race for us. And for Jassy to come and start with you.
Oh my.
So I think these three things, keeps
that's nice.
Going.
That's nice. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience with Rich. But I'm sure, said Rich, you were one of the superstars of the school. Now we different. How are you? All right. The next question I will take this and say from Rich. Unya, how many ones? How many ones did you need?
So there's something interesting that happened during the time when the results came. I think quite a number had gone to Mr. Padmore's house to know our results.
You were one of them. The earlier guys now. What did we go before?
They're predicting for the results, and they went on our 11 ones. In fact, I got 2, but all the others were 1. But when we got to Presec, I had 10 ones. It was Tree and French.
That I got 2. And now Pablo uses hand to write to transcribe it. Okay.
But the school would pick it from
official
one from like.
Interesting.
So I remember when I went to Presec, there was 10 ones. And it was Tree and French that I got 2. So official I got 10, not 12.
10. I see. Interesting. Wow, that's interesting. All right. And see, right from your 10 ones, where do you go? Presec.
So when I go to Presec, in fact, I had admission at Opoku.
Okay.
And admission at Presec. You know, at the time you were to choose the schools you wanted to. So first choice was Presec then. The second was Opoku, and the third was Susek. Into Presec became Opoku became. But in Presec I chose science.
Okay.
And the second program I chose in Presec was business. And then in Opoku, my first choice was business.
Okay.
My second choice was science.
I see.
So when I got to Presec, they had picked me up, but they didn't give me the science. They gave me my second program,
which was business.
so that was business. So I went to do business in Presec. But because I really wanted to be in Presec, I didn't consider coming to Opoku.
That's right.
Yes. So that's how the mishap came, because Opoku had given my first choice. If they had given the second choice, probably I might have changed my mind, because I really wanted to read the science.
Gotcha. And I was told you did double major.
The story I never got to know how it went out.
We'll find out. Whoever sneaked this story, please show your face, bring yourself.
And you know, the funny aspect was that we were three: myself, Dan, and Alidu. The three of us
went to Presec.
And
somebody spill the beans.
The two of us.
If it's you, please own it.
Who said that? So I remember in our second year, that's how I got to know.
Right.
In our second year we had a long break. So I decided to come down and visit family and friends. And of course, my favorite was Lydia.
That's right. We have to talk about Lydia. Lydia, are you there? Are you there? Okay.
So when I got to Sunyane, I went to her first. I didn't even go, and thinking that I've seen my friend and I'm looking for a hug and I'm in a good welcome. None of this didn't happen.
Oh wow.
They were full.
Hey.
And let me see some of her words. I know she will beat me, but let me say it. Didn't have very heavy. Oh, you can't see me or something. I'm my day. What is school call my business? Was in business and science. Also,
Mommy Lydia.
I got in a science class on all class. Before I could even explain, say I can't say I'm shame bill.
Wow.
So Lydia walks away, and with my pain, she didn't even give chance to explain it to her.
Oh.
So we lost touch for all our lives at that time.
Wow.
We lost touch for over 10 years.
My goodness.
No, it will be more, because that was in 96, 97. 97 was when we were in our second year.
That's right.
I didn't see Lydia till 2006.
I see.
So like 10 years. Let me
Wow.
You know, and that was the key thing. Yes, the desire was to reach science. It was a reason why I chose Presec. Forget about my affiliation, but the essence was to read science because of my passion to go into medicine and all that. I mean, I remember those days. If you remember, there was something that we used to do that was inspiring. You and Sam were doing that. Calabash arts.
Yes.
And it was a culture today I teach my Sunday school kids.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Where you write the profession on your badge and you wear it. So in the church, I let them write on paper and you clip it. You use normal safety pin. You wear it to church. That's what I do.
That's so nice.
I didn't know this. I would have shown some of the pictures on my Sunday school kids.
That's right.
To inspire them to really achieve their dreams.
That's right.
So I remember those days, right? Your title come, Dr. Zoe and so, Architect Zoe and so. So I had lived with that dream.
Yes,
and I always saw myself with my badge, being a doctor, you know. So that was a thought.
You look like one too.
Anyway, maybe. So I think that was the reason. So when I wasn't given the science, I decided to learn on my own.
That's right.
And I tried the first year. In fact, I wrote O levels, science.
Wow.
I wrote all 9 papers. Yes, science. And that is why I was surprised, because Nippon Bihun was done. So the two of them.
So somebody is a usual suspect.
And it hurts me that they told Lydia. It hurts a lot.
Yo, on the same note, then we have to talk about. I know, say we left Rage and went to your after Rage life, but question Mamusa on platform no so say a man nyina wana wo feel no pa.
Obviously,
Lydia. No Lydia no nim sa na say na e wo nkwa wakomem.
Let me tease
you. Ever propose or something at all?
Lydia was someone who be afraid. It's penny, or orderly, or calm, very respectful. Really will you see Lydia in events that would lead to she being caned or something. And this is hard.
That's right.
But you know, no so passionate about me. The passion comes from Adibia maybe was a bit critical on me. She would advise me. I remember there was a fight between Ecole and Charles. Me knew where Lydia was, but Lydia buy and I pen was me and mama to Canaba. And I'm saying, was me bois, because the conversation is a man I'm
instigating.
And she was so passionate about whatever I was doing. But you know, we're young. These things were not really into us and all that. And
do you want to win a surprise?
Charles and I were here. Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Who said that?
Yes. Charles was small but strong.
Yes. And see, you the walk forward. I think the class will be a couple of
They're compressed or him.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. The Bible that he went to be with the Lord, but
yes, right incident is unfortunate. Yeah. I remember. Let me digress a bit. I remember when it was a DJ who called me, said Bright is unwell. You know?
Yes.
So quickly I had to quickly follow up and see him where he was. And
of Free Ghana. He was out of the country. I remember no back. James said, "Minim how did you got to know?" But that time, I was actually in the States. Oh, okay.
But I don't know how the whole thing connected. I don't know how. I think I do had sent a message or something. But accidentally, the younger sister, Emily, had gotten my contact also from one of our mates.
Okay.
So not from but the China Moha. I'm catching, so I had a few days to return to Ghana and me back. So I followed up because you see, had spoken to me at length. So I had to follow up. And I think at long line, many petition to crowd. So if I remember, I probably went to look for him or something. But I mean, I was so involved. I met the family, trying to make sure that we'll help.
Thank you. Yo, now, my next question is about your family life. But before that, I think that before recording, you can say there was a 7 years of silence period in your life. Tell me about that. Between when and when did you?
Because
nothing. Were you doing nothing? In terms of, about 7 years of break in education, though, but
yes, you would want to definitely the things I was doing.
It was between SS and university.
So normal school now there was a waiting period of 2 years. So almost all of us went to university in the year 2000, but my whole school at the time. The first challenge at the time, I still wanted to pursue my dream, and as I was talking about my school days, the pre-second. I did O-level when I was in first year. I wrote on my own. I didn't have any teacher because I was a business student. So I'll go to the school library. And pre-sec is a science school, so I had a lot of books to read. I didn't do well. And I remember it was only biology I got 8. I'm talking about the major subject. The core I got 1, 2. I was interested in that because I really wanted to pursue science. So biology I got 8 and chemistry, physics I got 9 each. So it was a poor results, but I didn't give up. So I prepared to write this last one of the O-levels. This time I got 8 for physics, I got 7 for biology, and I got 9 for chemistry. And if you want to go to medicine, to read medicine. Physics, I got 7 for biology, and I got 9 for chemistry. And if you want to go to medicine, to read medicine, you definitely need the chemistry more than the physics. So the last batch for A-level, I wrote it again because I decided to do the A-levels. And my concentration at the time was to get a physics, pass in physics, in chemistry, but I didn't pass chemistry this time. So I abandoned that idea. So when we finished the SSC, I decided to learn again to write science in WASI. The SSC. So the written period, I was home reading the physics, chemistry, biology. The core ones, I wasn't bothered. I was more interested in them. So I wrote the SSC again, Still, I didn't get chemistry.
Also, 7 years and you were actually there's a C.
Yes, because I really wanted to get that.
My goodness.
So I didn't
So
get.
you were not really doing nothing. You were,
I was
in school,
trying
basically.
to learn. Yes.
That's
I was
impressive.
home. I had gone to friends. I picked their books and their notes, trying to learn.
Wow, that's
I
amazing.
never got chemistry.
For the whole 7 years. How many times did you write it?
I wrote, I think, 3 times.
3 times.
Yes, I didn't get it. So I remember when they were starting the medical school at Cape Coast. UCC was starting medical school. I spoke to the dean. I'd gone to the extent of speaking to the dean of my passion of studying medicine, and the dean said I should forward all my results. And the dean was said that I was never getting chemistry. And this unfortunately, I've never looked for this amazing woman. She was like, "You pass chemistry. If you never want to write, I'll pay for you to write only chemistry. Pass chemistry, and I'll give you admission.
Wow.
Because I can see your passion." Then I said to myself, in fact, still I was thinking about Lydia. I said to myself,
Lydia, where are you?
If Lydia gets to know I'm not in school, I'm in trouble. But I'll bring in that. Why I changed my mind along the line. There was a time when we were living in Kumasi, from a pastoral home. So I was always in the mission house. Our house wasn't far from the church in Kumasi. And I've gone to the church premise. There, I saw Lydia coming. At the time, Lydia was in her school uniform. At the time, she was at St. Louis Training College. When I saw her, I went to hide. Because I didn't want her to question, where are you? What are you doing? So that time, I changed my mind. I said, no, I need to go back to school. So I think in 2004, yes, I said, let me go into theology. After I've been teaching at Sunday school. So I bought forms and I went to prison service.
That's what I thought.
Yes, in Kumasi Prison Service University College to study theology. But when I got there, the registrar said, no,
that's not you.
I shouldn't go into that. I should go into business. So then it hit me back that you are running away from something. They didn't know your background. Why do you want to tell you to go back into business? So that's okay. So then that is how I shifted.
The confirmation.
And then decided, okay, go back and do my business programs. Because I had passed all right from the SSC, but I wasn't using it.
That's right.
So I decided to go and study. So I went to study first degree at the time. I made banking and
what school?
Prison service.
Okay.
So instead of going to
the theology.
I went to do that program, the same school, and was also flexible because I could still do my other things and still go to school. And I think it's one of the few schools that started evening school.
Nice.
Unlike the regular class, you can't work. I wasn't working, but I was getting income, sort of, because since 18, when I was 18 years, now I hang out with PPAG, Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana. In fact, being there, not to be boastful, but I think by the time I turned 30 years, I was heading the organization.
Wow.
In fact, the youngest ever in all member association in the world.
That's right.
PPAG is in almost every country in the world. So they come together to form a bigger organization. And no one ever in the history of the association would you say young person. And I remember when I was elected to lead the organization, it's 3 2-year terms, which gives you 6 years. So there was a global conference, and I happened to be there in Ethiopia. They were like, no, it was Nairobi, Kenya, sorry. They were like, how come this young person will lead this organization? That was me.
Wow, that's
because I was that young. So all along, the waiting period was filled with an activity, but I was kind of pursuing my dream.
That's right.
And I thought, no, you can't waste time. So that's how it happened.
Wow. Yeah. Your life is inspiring already. Now, we get into now your love life. Okay, so Lydia is the love of your life in school days, right? But I know that's not how it happened because you messed up and you missed it. So tell us about your missus, if you have one, and how many children you have now.
Oh yes, I'm married. I got married when I was 29 years.
Okay, nice.
I had finished my first degree. I had started my master's. And I got married. And I have 2 kids.
Nice.
4 and 6.
What are their names?
PCA, Amponsa, and Ohino Abraham.
There's no English name.
They have English.
What are your English?
So the first one is Jesse. and then the second one is Krista.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes, they all have C. So
that's nice.
Krista and Christine. The first one has Christine. The second one is Krista.
Wonderful.
And I gave them that name for a reason.
That's right.
But the Jesse, it was a promise I made to God.
Oh, wow.
So the Jesse is coming from the root of Jesus.
That's right.
So there's a reason why she's called Jesse.
I see.
So I changed it and put I to separate it from the normal Jesse. So she is Jessie.
Nice.
But it was a promise I made to God, and it had to be fulfilled.
That's beautiful.
So she's Jessie Christine. So instead of seeing a compound name usually on the surnames, her Jessie Christine is compounded.
Right.
Because I had to make
Talking about that, what is your full name?
So it comes back to two double names.
Yes.
So mine is Joshua Fredrick.
Yes, I mean, everybody. I mean, some people know you are Fredrick, but that's interesting. Nice.
So that's how it is.
Yeah, that's it. So another question that we always ask our classmates is, you want to talk about your lowest moment in life, the lowest where men can lead you. I know, not lead you, but the lowest, the lowest of the lowest where abrabo air was very sour, and then you share your happiest moment. Or feel say abrabo you're good. But before that, when him say, only JK or Konto Kobe. It will go to Cassia be Tia JK and my boy yet any more here. Maybe feel the boy by every single day.
Interestingly,
Coffee didn't make me feel that every year. Maybe we feel much needy. But I was no. The person is made me feel it. We feel so bad. Answer that one before you go.
Kofi was like a brother to me. And I'm calling him Kofi because I never call him JK. If he friend Kofi.
That's right.
And we're like brothers. I cannot really recall what really led to the fight.
What if you feel so good about it? Dr. Poko show baby says one of the areas baby now.
Because I remember when we were kids. Many years ago, we are Guava or Dr. Dovulu, so Govulu Fee. I remember one of the days you call yourself a big Cavallo. Before we could even get to that, it's even for war. You know, I remember this. So I don't know. It's one of those things. Sometimes you grow. It's not a long time. Sometimes I chat with him. Anyway.
Nice. Yeah, he's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Also, tell us your lowest moment.
Picking up war. I think my lowest moment is where I couldn't fulfill my dream.
Wow. Then it's big.
Yes.
Because then that stay with you.
Yes.
Wow. So you always have that at the back of your mind. So after you're sitting down, you still wow, that's deep.
I don't feel fulfilled. You know, and I could share more about that. Maybe it's just one of the reasons. But I remember when I finished with my masters.
What are your masters in?
So I have two masters.
Wow.
I have the normal business administration because I did first degree in administration. So I did an MBA. But currently I've done MSc in public health. Okay. Because I'm trying to align a bit with my health.
That's right.
And you know, in medicine we have two aspects. We have the preventive.
That's right.
And the curative. So that thought gives me that okay, you branch a bit into preventive if you are not in mainstream curative. I see a lot of science journals. I mean, I subscribe to a lot of articles. The desire to read about science, about health. My interest lies with pediatrics. So I still read around it. I remember when I got married to my wife, I was like, follow your passion. But this is where, and you know, when you marry, I mean, you have greater responsibility. You don't have any support. And all along, I've been supporting myself even at the university. That's right. I work to pay my fees and all that. So along the line, there was a desire to quit and start all over. Go back to school because you know, when I was trying to write the science, I was learning on my own. I didn't have any teacher to assist you to understand. And so it's been back and forth. And sometimes, like, if you want to go to school, you will not have a family. That was one reason why I also delayed birth. That's right. You know, because we waited for like 8 years before we gave birth to the first child. And all impacted on me. And still, so when I teach my young ones at Sunday school, I push them to follow their passion. I go to the extent of even speaking to parents to let kids follow their passion, help them shape it. And I think I enjoy doing that because of what I've gone through. Yeah, I like that. And I wouldn't mind spending all that I have to make sure that someone's fulfilling his or her dreams because they shouldn't go to the pain I'm going through. I think no one understands the pain I go through. So it worries me. I mean, sometimes I'm emotional about it. So it hasn't been the best of experience, but I mean, life goes on. Recently, there's that still desire to
still do it.
Do it.
I think you should do it. I actually think you should do it.
But that's the plan, because I'm actually exploring that. I have
in America, you can do anything at any time and every stage.
So now, but the plan is to. I've checked your system here, and I'm supposed to write the entry qualification. I'm trying to gather the materials and see I can prepare for the exams and write, and see if I would explore. Whilst at the same time trying to pursue a PhD into medical research.
Wow.
I should have started, but funding has been the issue. I'm hoping that next fall, if I get funding, then I'll be going into a PhD focusing on medical research.
That's nice.
If that is attained, I think I'll be getting closer, because I'll still be able to get access to specimens from the labs and all that. Because when you are seen as a scientist in the medical field,
that's right,
you would be given access to some of this. Because I realized that if I want to do even research, if it's also one reason why is pushing me to go back to medical school, because some of the things that comes to mind you want to research into, you need to have the real access. You cannot access a tissue that has a background about the tissue or that you want to really study. But
wow, my next question is very painful, so don't cry, okay? It looks like you didn't get your dream wife, you didn't get your dream career. What are you like? What are you like? What are you What are you living for?
This is a mean one indeed.
What are you living for now?
The joy is where you have a family that loves you.
Amen. I love it.
And I think I take inspiration from that. My wife and Lydia are close friends.
Oh, you got your dream wife. You got it.
I remember when we reconnected, I think Lydia was carrying the third child.
Okay.
And when she delivered, we all went to visit.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. And periodically they talk. And I talk to almost every day.
Right.
So life goes on.
That's right.
We are a family.
That's
because,
right.
There's this thing I read in philosophy that when you live with someone for 7 years, you're no more friends, you're a family.
Oh, that's nice.
And Lydia and I started from pre-K to date. We're a family.
That's right.
I mean, I go to the family in time. They call me, I call them.
That's good.
So you don't lose the touch. The essence of life is where you think you have a connection with someone through sexual contact. But that's not enough.
Exactly.
Because you can still have that contact with someone and you still don't love the person. But love goes beyond that. That's right. Relationship. And I think we have that unique connection that we now see ourselves as a family. That's right. Anytime I'm there, I go to visit the kids. They call me almost all the time. And if you see the son, her son, you think he's my son. Wow.
So that's nice. I think that God meant it even in a better way.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to, before you share your happiest moment, I want to play a game with you. The game is that when I say the name of the classmate, the first word that comes to your mind, you say. I'll mention the name of the classmate and don't use a phrase, just a word. When I say their name, they respond with the first word that will come to your mind. Okay.
Okay, let's try and see if I will get it.
It's not right or wrong. It is the impression that classmate will have on you.
Okay.
You let a word out. It can be all right. And see, let's start. Very okay. That's the first word that comes to mind.
How do I put it?
One word. Just
one word.
Just one word.
Quiet.
Quiet. Good. Ivan Shemes.
Approachable.
Joshua Hiaba.
Spiritual.
Lydia anymore.
Lydia had to do with
Don't say. There are one word.
Patient.
Okay. Miss Yakumi.
Hard one. Okay, so disciplinarian.
Let's go back to the students. Nalum.
Lovely.
Charles Anto.
Competitive.
Abidjan Fee.
Brotherly love.
Oseko Joe.
Playful.
Linda Ajokonadu.
The chatty one.
That's 2 words. Walk where? Okay, somewhere for Sasati.
Samuel.
Somewhere is not that way.
Let me tell you something. You know, when we're in school, we used to have this. Even today, I still do it. The moment I say coffee, then he knows I'm going to insult him.
He's got. Are you used to coffee?
No, there's a way we used to. There's a way I used to.
Use a welcome.
You know, and you know, we used to have this abridgable coffee Samuel.
Yes. Is it a song or a phrase?
I don't know how it happened. But the minute I say coffee, he knows I'm going to insult him because I'm going to abridge river.
So that's the way that comes to your mind.
Samuel is a playful type.
Yes, time is playful. Okay, so who else? So I'm going to tell 3 more and we are done with that game. I wanted to ask Ernest Ade.
Unless it's calm.
Calm. Okay, and then it's two girls. Jemima. You know Jemima?
The one who beat me.
Yeah, Jemima.
Jemima is firm.
Firm. I like
That's
that.
good.
And then last one, Winifred Mason.
You see,
You don't say it. Just give me a word.
I'm just trying to, because you know, I must be sincere with you. Some of our mates that you didn't have constant.
With it's difficult
You
to
now have
capture.
to think about who she was. You know, some of them, the moment you mention their names, you
Something comes to your mind. Right.
So we didn't have that connection. Yes, but
What's the word? I can swap the word. Did I say here, but
yes.
Okay,
you know, like I was trying to talk about your being chatty. Winifred was also on that type. I'm choosing that word because as you grow, sense that you thought was negative tends to be positive.
Gotcha.
I'm using the word chatty, but if those days we were to use the way we used to choose words, you say talkative.
Gotcha. Okay.
You get the point I'm trying to.
Yes, I do.
But it has always been given a negative connotation instead of giving the value in that. Because I remember when I was doing child psychology, because into public health you need to know what goes on, because my passion is into kids. One of the things that came up, people who are talkative, you know their emotions easily.
That's right.
And you're able to help them out.
That's true.
But today it's more refined as chatty. Someone who wants to talk to you and all that. So that is why I changed that. But if we were to use our words at the time, then the word talkative will fit Ajwa and Winifred. You get it? But that is why I'm trying to let them see that it's a positive thing. Because if I take Ajwa, Ajwa will speak her mind. So you know what is worrying her.
That's right.
Ajwa doesn't hold back. If I take Vera, Vera is a calm type. But those ones, you never get to know what they are going through.
That's right.
And emotionally they become unwell and you may not even know. You know, so there's a need to identify each one and see what you want to really help.
Sounds good.
If I take Maxwell, Free, I fear today I'll use the word afraid. I hope it's
Are you there?
I hope it's not connoting to the name of free, but free means coming from a good event.
Like coming from a good place.
From a good event. There's something positive out of your upbringing or your birth. You know, you've come at the right time and all that. But he was one person and not Osru at there. And usually he's always on the fence. As soon as the issues emerge, he's the first to leave.
Interesting.
Okay? When those things emerge and you do not check it, I think over time you weren't able to overcome it. You know, so all these things are there for you to really explore.
Interesting.
I use the word competitive for child. We've been all together this one. Let me share a good story that Charles and I had. When Charles started medical school, you won't believe that now we're all food.
Yes,
but those days, he's saying
I see.
And it was not different when he got to medical school. I was still cooking for and eating. You know, but the idea is that I need to fulfill something. So Charles was always on something, and such people are competitive.
Driven.
It could be that it's their own competition. They are not doing it with others because you need to compete with yourself. You want to be successful.
That's right.
Because you see, within us, we have the body, the soul, and your mind. They compete with each other. One wants you to be relaxed. One wants you to move. One wants to give you the laissez-faire. Be okay. One be okay. So you yourself need to see that you want to. And I saw that in Charles.
Wow.
I saw that in Charles. And I remember when Charles was at St. Augustine, I kept following what he was doing. And I took a lot of inspiration from him. One person that also inspired me so much was Eunice Achrepo. I'm sure. I think now
he's a doctor, right?
Yeah, she's about becoming a professor. If she's not, I haven't checked the recent those that were promoted. But if she's not, she's about. Sometime she's going to be a professor.
Wonderful.
But with all due respect, among the circle of who were hanging out, we never brought her into our circles.
Eunice, right?
Yes.
And
you know, the amount of inspiration to me. You know, Eunice went to Thomas Secondary School. Yes.
Thomas.
Yes.
I see.
That's where Eunice went to school. And then at the time, the National Science and Maths Quiz, then Brilliant Science and Maths Quiz, she represented a school.
Oh, wow.
So they came to Presec when we were in Presec. And I was so inspired that she led her school to that competition.
That's amazing.
That is when I started having a positive outlook.
Wow, that's great.
And what inspired me all along, when she started school, you know, she did one of the most difficult courses in Ghana, chemical engineering.
Wow.
When you have the opportunity to talk to her,
my goodness.
and I'm sure she'll be surprised I'm talking about this. But that is when I had a change in mind.
That's amazing.
There's something greater we are never seeing. And as you said, classes that man classes. You need to go and help the mom
in the market.
And the joy I always have, you could be that you intentionally go there and get to eat, but we go to classes while she's there
working. Yeah.
And we had so much privilege she didn't have. Into secondary school bar competition, it changed me. I think we're in the second year or third year. It changed me. I said, no, there's something we are not looking at. And from there, even though it's been a long time I spoke to her, we monitored everything that she was doing. And she's an inspiration to me. So when she started first year at Kent UST, she was reading chemical engineering.
Wow.
Okay. Junior's finished, became a TA, and now a senior lecturer.
That's impressive.
And she never know I study all these things. And I'm sure she will question, how did I get to know this? But that's how I follow my passion. I look at things that inspires me. And one day I'll tell her that I'll send her some of my recordings. Because in Sunday school, I use people that are inspirational into my Sunday class. Because I want them to have the real situation. It's not easy teaching children the Bible.
Yes. What's the age group?
I teach from 12 to 18.
Oh, okay. They're very young.
Yes, but usually I do the transition class because from 18 they become young adults.
That's right.
So I handle that transition period, which is 1 year. So when they are 17, 18, that is my duty to prepare them into young adult life.
That's beautiful.
And I give them a lot. And one thing I do is that I bellow upon them, my children, when I'm teaching them the Bible. I just don't introduce Bible in class for a reason, but I teach them the Bible.
That's right.
Because I want them to see that this cup, it is how you understand it. You will come and you appreciate there's water in it. You only appreciate there's water in it when you are testing. If you are not testing, you think that insulin will be also. And it's a fact. If anyone works in here, no one's insulin will be also. But it's common thing.
That's right.
That is when they have a need. So when I'm teaching them, I want them to understand that look for your need. And the need
stop complaining.
Exactly.
I like that.
You know, and that's what I do with the kids.
That's so good.
I always make them write what they believe in. I don't limit them, but whatever they write helps you to know what they are thinking of, and then I start shaping it into that dream. That's how I do with my kids. So I'm all out with them.
That's beautiful.
All that.
Thank you.
So Eunice really had done very well.
Inspiring.
Anyone who needs inspiration,
that's
Eunice.
That's beautiful. I think when I was trying to track my next guest for the time of the classmate, I went to NS Ade, and then they said, please go to Eunice. So I'm sure there's something there to explore. So Eunice, if you are listening to us, and Eunice, we thank you so much because I see that every time we post, you show a reaction with the love. So we are coming towards your direction. Okay, our job will contact you. All right. So please share with us your happiest moments, and then we have 2 more questions to wrap up.
My happiest moment when I was a young person out at the general annual general meeting, I was elected the
That's
president.
sweet. That's sweet.
I was there with professors and all that. You know, Ghana, we value process. And it was just a split of a decision.
Right.
The person who was to actually contest was sent by the then president to USC.
Okay.
And the person was coming from my zone. So our zone didn't have representation. So I quickly lobbied. And they put my name there. And I was 30.
Wow.
And I knew I wasn't going to win. But for them to give it a nod. And I remember at the time, Otumfo, took the live patron of Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana. He came for that AGM because it was held in Kumasi. So Otumfo was there. And I remember when I was supposed to deliver my statement why I want to be the president. And I said that we say that the organization belongs to young people. And if you look at our charter, the face is for young people. How come a young person cannot lead the organization but adults? Then it's not for children,
young people like they are saying.
And then Otumfo clapped.
My goodness.
That is how I got the tickets. And I won by 82%.
Wow.
So I was that young. I didn't even know what to do.
Beautiful.
And that opened me to the world. And access to all the member countries, 154 countries. And access to these countries. No, it was 112 until later others joined. But it's free access.
Wow.
And that's how I got exposed to a lot of adults in Ghana, politicians working the corridors.
And I think you wouldn't have get this if you were a doctor, would you?
No, maybe wouldn't have come up.
Yes. So God knows what He's doing.
And when the first 3 years was over and I was re-elected, and could you believe some countries will come to Ghana just for want to see this young person who's thinking about this organization?
Wow, isn't that amazing?
And for me, I always live with that dream. I remember I had the opportunity to talk to the US ambassador. There was a project on cervical cancer. So I was asked to go to Nairobi to work on it with the African Union. So when we got there and the EU chairperson saw me, was like, how old are you? Because we see adults negotiating those things. And I remember telling the OU chairperson that the charter you are working with on reproductive health, I was one of the members who wrote that document.
Wow.
They said, I'm not dealing with a young person because I just want the person to know that don't treat us as a young person. Because the charter I worked on it, West Africa, Anglophone West Africa, but I was still serving on the African Committee.
Wow.
And revising the document, because what we did was to put them into various languages to get views from all parts of the continent, North, South, East, and West of Africa. But then we had to refine to get one document.
I see.
And I started right from the beginning to the end. And it was sponsored by USAID.
Wow.
So when the US ambassador wanted to discuss the issue further about getting a new project, then they realized that I'm still with the association. So they wrote to the association wanting to speak to the president. So we met and said, I still wonder how you could influence all these big people to follow what you do. So there was a project, and that's how I connected. So I was exposed to the world at that young age. A lot of access, a lot of contacts.
Wonderful.
And I think that also shaped me into whatever I do today.
So your life is fulfilled. So I take my question back. You got something bigger than that. And I've been doing some short clips, and one of the ones I did was about the way interesting life stories are designed. I said that good producers and movie producers, they write stories that are very impactful the way your life went out. They begin with a person who is pursuing what they feel they are born for. And then in the course of the production, they make sure that in the middle, the person doesn't fulfill those things, so that they come to awareness is that in life, it is what you become through all your ups and downs. That is the actual goal, not the actual assignment on the list. So I think regardless of whether you got what you didn't get, you have ended up becoming a better person, and which I feel is more important. How do you even achieve the things on paper? Because life is not about the paper, but it's about the man. And so the man we are talking to has become a man that we are proud of, a father. You understand that? So you wouldn't have become the man that you have become even if the things on your checklist had checked out. Because life is not about checklists, about the final Opoku Manu that we had. So I think it fulfills the story I'm saying. So most of us, we definitely will not have the picture perfect, but the person perfect is what the goal is. So all of that is to mold you to be humble, to be more relative, because your passion for the kids was born from your pain as a kid. So God really does the opposite. It says we are being comforted with the comfort we have received. So everything you didn't get is what has given you what you've gotten, and that is much deeper because there's a story behind why you do what you do. So we're really proud of you. Now the last thing we wrap up is your biggest advice to our class.
One of the things if I use myself, at this point we are in our mid years, and like I was sharing with you earlier, one of the things I want us to really help ourselves is to help us manage midlife crisis. I don't think we've had that opportunity to come together where we really even understand what midlife crisis is about.
You're about to hit that midlife too.
Yes. And we need to prepare ourselves for it, because whether we like it or not, quite a number of us will face it. And I think our sister, Dr. Gladys Kuma, expert in mental health, would help in this direction. If we're able to connect with her, I'm sure she would.
Gladys, I'm coming to you, okay?
To help us prepare us for midlife crisis. Research shows that more than 70% that enter midlife crisis enter unprepared.
And they come out horrible.
Very horrible. And I think we need to look at it from there. My advice to our mates who, one or the other, is still trying to make a living, using that word because it's relative. What you think is a challenge may not be a challenge to someone. We should make it an effort that we're going to help ourselves. And I'm glad of what the group is doing. I admit it's been a long time I sent my contribution, but I remember Philip, Kwabena, Asante. Now I don't call him Frank, I just call him Kwabena, and then Dujemfi, the C, and then myself. Because you should have called me because that I owe.
You're putting back on, so don't worry.
And I remember every year we'll bring monies together and go and visit
kids. Yes. We still do.
I don't remember last time they asked for my contribution, but I think we need to do that. And then along the line, we brought in Lucy's kids.
We still do. Very young.
That's why I'm saying they've never come for my contribution.
Yes. Now we are going to put you on, and all of this will be solved.
Because I'm passionate about these kids. I'm saying so not because they are children, but I'm saying so because they need support. I tend to be passionate about kids who need support. Don't look at it because you know the parents of the child before you want to do something to help the kids. I think we need to really help these.
That's right.
Maybe I align myself with youth ministry, and I'm passionate about kids. My base of loving kids, that is the only way you can serve God. If you cannot love children, you don't know God. You know,
that's a pure heart.
And for me to serve God, is to love children. I don't need any other thing. You don't need to prove me to know anything.
That's good.
Because you see, there's beauty in children. They are unique creation. It's the only creation that you see God blessing.
Amen.
People may not understand this, but if you are spiritual, you understand this. Because you see, when you are right, you read science, you are a scientist. So let me put you on this. And Charles attest to this. The egg, and then there's the egg cell, and the sperm cell had no blood tissue. There's no cell of blood in it. But when they fuse, it turns to blood. God protects this development to become a baby. When a child is born, we are happy. Why are we happy? Because it's a pain, but we are happy because God wants to see happiness. And the child is a replication of God. Okay. And then Jesus affirms it. These children deserve the kingdom. Allow them to come to you. The only time in scripture that Jesus allowed people to come to him were kids. People rather went to him. That is how he fellowship with.
That's right.
With everyone. When he came, he got more followers because he had availed himself to the people. And then they started loving him. But then he said, let these children come to me.
That's right.
There was that opportunity to God to tell you that these children are unique.
That's right.
And anyone who welcomes children, I mean, you feel fulfilled.
That's right. I like that.
Whether you know God or not, letting children come to you, you feel fulfilled. And you see that, with all due respect, if you do not have a child, you still can love a child.
That's right.
Okay. I remember I told my wife that I don't want any pressure on her when we're not having a child. Comfortable. We have a lot of kids, and they come home, we visit them. If I should give you my phone, there's a lot of kids on my phone.
That's right.
Yes. And I'll call them, talk. And it's something that I always want to see people, all of us do. Spend time with children.
Like
choose time, visit kids wherever they are. You can go to the school, you can go to children's home, wherever. Spend time. In your quiet time, just go and enjoy kids. You go to where they are playing. If you didn't want to talk to them, just watch them. You see how God would reveal himself to you.
That's so
and for me, we should look at that. That's the advice I give to our mates.
Thank you.
It also helps to deal with crisis. Because things kids do, if you take time and you really study them, they teach you a lesson. Wow. Anyone can put me on test on this, and I'll prove to them that they'll find value relating with children.
That's beautiful.
Because God relates with you when you see yourself as a child.
That's good.
It's not when you want to prove to God that you are an adult.
That's the word. And confirm what I was teaching a while ago, that God is so into what you are saying to a point that he has actually outlined so-called the protocol or the process of getting to him in a childlike manner. You know, faith is belief is feels so weak because it's a kid can even believe, right? But God has chosen that as a way to access him. So it's not childishness but childlikeness path to which we pursue God, because I think we must believe God for only kids who do that, right? But that is how he has chosen to do that. So there's something unique about what you are saying, that the whole life of a child is a path to God, and I like that so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I mean, it's nice seeing you, because it's about 2 years.
Long time. But you have been I want to say or go on record, so you have been a good friend at that stage of my life. That's why when I wrote all my points friends, you were on the list.
I saw that on
yes. So you have been a good friend to me, and I thought maybe you wanted my father to bring you money, but you didn't want my father to bring money. You just wanted to care for me and love me as a big brother. And I was asking this question: you're not older than our classmates, are you?
No.
You skipped school. I mean, you didn't in our early 40s, right?
Yeah.
I see. Then you were very mature. Did Charles give you money in school days? What were you all following him for?
So, the funny aspect was, we actually became friends.
Or just
we're learning
clicks.
Yes, we were learning together. And then I think at a point in time, if you recall, Mr. Padmore would restrict us in terms of teachers using the chalk to classes. And I'll bully my way to his office
to get
that. And so Charles and I started clicking at a time, because we share materials together, notes and all that. That's how we came together. And I remember Charles used to have a lot of money when we were kids.
Wow.
Maybe Charles. Is it because your dad was a banker?
No. That was a banker?
Yes, he's a retired banker.
The secret I know about Charles was that he used to go to the village and bring a lot of money. Was he running the farming?
No, the father was a banker. And the mother, I think,
but the house you were living with was your cousins. You were living in the cousin's house.
But
so Acheku was. I mean, no, it wasn't. It was Acheku.
Yes.
The big hospital. Yes. I mean, the big house you were living in yesterday.
That's their house.
It was Charles a father or uncle? Okay, got it.
And so that family is already wealthy.
I see.
And I met the other cousins in Presec, and they were that generous.
I see.
So I think it's a trait in their family. Yes. So that was.
Yeah, he had too much money as a kid. He had too much money.
And
I'm glad you guys were spending it for him. Charles was very nice, but he didn't give him some money.
But the good thing was that sometimes we buy food and we eat together.
Yes, but no money. He was paying. All right, so it's so nice having you. I'm going to drop him home, and then I will post this gradually, because this conversation was so good. All right, God bless all of you.